The wind howled through the desolate landscape of Spring Canyon in Helper, Utah. As I stood at the entrance of the abandoned mining town, a shiver ran down my spine. The air was thick with an eerie silence that seemed to amplify the distant whispers of the past. I had heard rumors about the haunting of Spring Canyon, but I never truly believed in such tales until that fateful day. I was part of a small team of urban explorers who were fascinated by forgotten places. Armed with flashlights and cameras, we ventured into the heart of the ghost town. The buildings were crumbling, windows shattered, and the only remnants of life were the discarded tools that lay strewn across the dirt-covered streets. As we moved deeper into the town, I noticed a building that seemed oddly preserved amidst the decay. Its windows were intact, and the front door was slightly ajar. Against my better judgment, I felt an inexplicable pull towards it. The others hesitated, but curiosity got the best of us, and we entered. The interior was frozen in time. Dust-covered furniture, faded wallpaper, and the faint smell of coal and rust lingered in the air. We split up to explore the rooms, each step echoing through the silence. I wandered into a room that appeared to be a makeshift study. The desk was cluttered with old letters, some written in elegant cursive, others hastily scribbled. I picked up a letter and began to read aloud. As the words left my lips, a sudden chill enveloped the room. The atmosphere grew heavy, and the air seemed to vibrate with an otherworldly energy. My heart pounded in my chest as I turned to leave the room, only to find the door had slammed shut behind me. Panic set in as I frantically tried to open the door. The room was no longer the same. The walls seemed to pulse with a sickening rhythm. The letters on the desk started rearranging themselves, forming words and sentences that sent a wave of terror through me. The ink seemed to materialize from thin air, and the words spelled out a dire warning. "You've disturbed what should remain buried." I banged on the door, screaming for my companions, but my voice seemed to be swallowed by the walls. Just as I was about to lose hope, the room began to distort, as if reality itself was unraveling. Figures emerged from the walls, shadowy, indistinct shapes that oozed malevolence. Frozen with fear, I watched as the figures circled me, their whispers echoing in my mind. Memories that weren't mine flooded my consciousness. Stories of miners trapped in collapses, lives cut short by tragedy. It was as if the spirits of Spring Canyon were sharing their torment with me. Time lost all meaning as I was trapped in that nightmarish room. Days or perhaps weeks passed in that distorted realm. Eventually, my fellow explorers managed to force the door open. As I stumbled out, I was greeted by blinding sunlight and a world that felt strangely unfamiliar. I had escaped the grasp of the spirits of Spring Canyon, but I carried their memories with me. The horror of that day haunts my dreams, and I often find myself back in that room, surrounded by those shadowy figures. I have become a prisoner of the haunting, forever linked to the tragedy that unfolded in that forsaken town.